welcome to the political week in Almedalen again. We have a talk with Bert-Ola Bergstrand in Almedalen just now. And welcome, Bert-Ola.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
You are one of the most leading person when we talk about social media and mobilizing people to be engaged in society with social media. How do you feel to be in Almedalen?
Thanks for that. Yeah, it's super cool, especially now when it's fantastic weather. It's the 4th year I think I'm here now. So yeah, for people who haven't been here, it's Visby, the city is of course a fantastic place to walk around in these small streets, and you can feel the history and the long tradition, and also on top of that all these engaged people from all over Sweden that you can really feel have they want a true passion for building something better, whatever they are doing. So I think it's a great feeling to be here.
If you compare what your experience from your international work, because I've seen you for many years working with the international network and helping people to get mobilized all over the world. If you look at Sweden as a social mobilizing country, how do you see the difference between the international work and the Swedish work?
Can see from the international audience that they like to see. So that's the simple theory I follow there. If we can inspire and show that at least something hopeful is going on, then we can, what can you do as a person? I can be here and show that. That's my philosophy there. And I can see it has some quite good effects. So that's why we try to encourage more people to start to open up, basically show good things and share in a counter picture of all these bad things, but you can also have the positive things there. So that's perfect in Almedalen for that.
With 45,000 people and 4,000 events, it is a pretty hard thing to cover, but in an earlier interview I had with Anders Wikman, we talked about the democracy and development of democracy. He was pretty pessimistic about the established party, that they are not using the way of social media and are old sinker. Is that what is the view from your perspective?
Yeah, I think it's more I mean, we have a well-functioning at the moment democracy probably here in the Nordics, but if you look at the global, at least the people we speak with a lot, it must be quite hard for them to get into this understanding of how the society works here, and it's not the average around the world, that's for sure. And it's
but how, but how do you see the established party system in Sweden relate to your work on with this grassroots organizations? Is it a fully understanding of the establishment?
No, I think they are lagging. I can just give one example. I was in early June at the conference in Oslo called Seed Global Forum, and the Meltwater Group is a very interesting person from South Korea who grew up in Norway. It's one of the biggest and most successful organizations today in intelligence work. And what has happened, he said, over the last 20 years is that we have moved from internal indicators in organizations to external. So today, the intelligence and the information comes from outside much more than from inside. So we need to be very good in finding the signals outside what we do. And I think from looking at the political organizations here in this small idyllic bubble, it's probably not, I would say, they who cope with the change in an efficient way. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah.
It's context, but it's not receptive as good as it could have been if you look at global issues.
Yeah. So when you look at the audience in Almedalen and see young people and older people and young organizations, and can you see that the dialogue is ongoing between the established parties and this type of movement that you are a representative of?
Maybe to some extent, but I also think, I can't say I'm an expert in that, but I think it's a bit biased here. So still, if we have civil society here at place and we have a lot of different organizations, it's probably, I'm not sure if you can say it's a representation of Sweden or and the Nordics in general there. There are so many other, it's a professionalization of civil society as well. So maybe we have a sort of parallel organizations going on outside, most likely, I think there. But in here you can see the talks, and I just went through some mingles now, and of course the dynamics is fantastic in this sunny weather and everything. But if this is a true representation of Sweden or the Nordic model, I'm not sure. Maybe to some extent.
You have been very much connected to Norway and particularly Trondheim, and started a program around the learning journey.
Yeah.
What can you give us an insight in what this is about?
Yeah, there are many parts, but I think the basic, if you look at Trondheim, maybe I'm not the right person to speak about that, but at least I have an understanding since I've been working a bit with them the last year, and NTNU, the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. It's basically to start to rethink how you organize big organizations in today, and how you use, of course, knowledge in new ways. And in order to cope with this change and the transformation we are into, we need to be more use more efficient the information outside and make use of it. So we have tried a lot over the last months to go into more of process thinking, to engage people early on in different experiments, to listen to them, try to get into processes. It has been a lot on experimentation stage, so it's not maybe in the policies yet, but at least there is a mandate to experiment and to open up the city and the institutions there. And that's an ongoing. So I know they are working on many different type of programs right now. For example, they use a big leadership program for 600 people in the organization, to everything from pitches to increase the ask questions, basic questions out in the organization. What is value for you if you're a public servant, and how do you communicate this to your people that you work with, and in the best way? So to like lift up and augment the knowledge of the welfare services. In this way, it's more a listening in approach, that it's a more continuous dialogue with citizen, for example, and let's co-create around issues, or let's take risks. So for example, if you have a mandate in a city or municipality or a region to take risk, to experiment, like in Trondheim right now, they have closed down for 1 month the main street in the city center, and see what happens. What happens when you close up the main street in a city and make it a green space or something for creativity? Then you can start to imagine what things might happen on a bigger scale, and the university can be there and follow up and make what they are good in. So make more productive use of the information flows around this. So this is to get experimentation into policy and to be more, you know, sort of a train to be in a process thinking.
So the expectation from this work, will that sort of be provocative to the established structure of the municipality? Will it be?
They work on here. They call it University City 3.0. So it's a 4-year project where they try to, with I know a lot of regions and cities and municipalities do. They call the quadruple helix model. Basically, state, regions, municipalities as one actor, civil society as one actor, academy as one actor, and business as one actor. So that's not a new thing, how you cooperate with different sectors. But if you add that a mindset of experimentation to have a process design, and in this case, even function responsibilities of taking decisions, that's a step forward of the way we have organized clusters or quadruple helix models till now. So there are a few components that they are testing. This is the first year, it's a 4-year project, and it's a national pilot. So this is, if it goes well, supposed to scale up to other cities around Norway. So we did a learning journey, we call it Learning Journey Norway, in early June, when we went to Tromsø in the north, to Stavanger, to Kristiansand in the very south, and to Bærum and Oslo and Trondheim. So we looked at how is this innovation systems in a wider perspective, from startups, from co-working spaces, from policy decision, from smart city perspectives, what is going on in the different places. And as I said, it's an early stage, so it will go from there.
But can you recognize some of this type of discussion in Almedalen?
Not so far, I would say.
No.
Not so, that is left. You know, you have been to Almedalen, so it's a bit hard to be. You go in one place and you go to. I'm sure there is a lot of great talks and things going on, but it's a bit hard to get the overall picture.
Well, thank you very much, Bert-Ola, and we all will follow you and your journey, and particularly on Messenger and Facebook, and your international work.
Yeah, that's what we try. I mean, as a final word, we try to use social media, or I use the word social capital. So social media is just a means, but if you have some knowledge about how you can design networks and communities and engagement in them for doing something good, then social media can be very productive to organize in new ways societal development. And that's what we try to do.
Yeah, well, let's see if you can catch up with some of the people who are close to your themes and discussion of the learning journey the rest of the week in Almedalen. But thank you, Bert-Ola, for your contribution today, and hope to see you soon, and hope to see you also in London some time to come.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. It was great being here.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.